The problem with this approach of positive thinking and affirmations, and where there's a will, there's a way, is that that strong emotion that is created by that original belief that was put into place when that rejection happened, it's stronger than the logical reasoning brain in adult life. That core belief is stronger than anything that we're trying to program in consciously. That's why the secret is in the subconscious. That's the secret, and the body. And I'm going to interweave both in this program. So, number one, we feel a certain way. Then we create an explanation or a story of why we feel that way, which means torturous and strong feelings reside in the deeper and more ancient brain structures, the human instinct survival brain, rather than the mere surface conscious mind. So this is why you've been doing the things and it's still not working. Or you're doing the things and seeing that they work in certain areas of life, but no, not the other area. And you'll see it repeated in patterns, harmful patterns that show up in your life. So number two is our emotional conditioning works on us even from a long time ago. This emotional conditioning that is put into place long ago when these parts in our subconscious got fragmented off, got disconnected off from the whole, created a belief about ourselves, which creates the negative emotions that come up when anything looks like that original rejection that took place. So that trigger that we're seeing in current day life is pinging back to that original core belief. So I say it like this. I wish I could remember, because I want to credit anybody that I've heard or add into this. That's not mine. I heard somebody say somewhere along the line that if somebody throws salt at you, it doesn't hurt unless you have an open wound. Then it burns like crazy, right? So an example of that is if somebody says, like, Christine, you're such a communist. You're just such a communist. You believe in the government having all the rights and you're a communist. I mean, I would be like, what makes you think that? Like, where did you get that idea? I'm not affected by it emotionally because there's no core belief or core wound inside of me that agrees with that. But if somebody said, Christine, you really screwed up your kid by the way the decisions you made all the time that you were raising, I'd be like, oh man, even saying that, all the work that I've done around that, even saying that, I can feel that little twinge physically in my body. And it used to be a big defense would come out, rapid heartbeat, tightening of chest, and I would vomit my pain and my inner shame onto that other person because there's a wound there. So this is why CBT, talk therapy, books does not work for substantial elimination of triggers and knee-jerk reactions, because the core beliefs underlying the emotion that pops up is actually the treasure. That's the treasure that we want to get to start processing through these beliefs that will then process through the negative emotions that will then process through the triggers. So in this program, we are going to spiral upward like that, and we are going to spiral downward from both angles. We're going to come from both approaches because both work and because different people are receptive to different approaches. And I think approaching it from all angles will provide processing in a more efficient way. So in highlight number 2 of the notes, idea plus emotion equals the belief. So initially, when it got locked in and that circuitry got blocked, right, in the electrical system, we felt rejected because of something that happened, and we had overwhelming emotion at that time. And a part in the subconscious disconnected and took on that idea. We're bad because, we're not worthy because, we don't deserve something because. And that idea, with that overwhelming emotion, locked in that core belief inside of that part at that time. This is why emotion outpowers logic. Emotion has to do with survival. Logic has to do more with well-being, but emotion has to do with survival. And that primal instinct ignites our body, which ignites the emotion, which usually we are programmed to turn that pain outward. And I'm going to teach you in this program how to turn that attention inward. Pushing it outward just annihilates relationships, causes disconnection, loss of opportunities. Turning it inward creates change. So that's just the end of highlight 2 of the notes. So let's open up questions at this point in time, because I want to clarify things before we move forward. Does anybody have a question right now? Is everybody following okay? You're following okay?
So I'm taking notes, I'm writing as you're talking. But there are notes that are written somewhere, like with what you're saying when you said highlight number 2.
Oh, yes, that's in, and you can't, you're having a problem logging in. So we'll get that corrected, and then I'll also email them out.
Okay, so the workbook that I'm just looking, oh no, I do have the work now. I'm looking, the workbook also follows along with what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. Does it make sense why we can read a book and know consciously what we want to do, what kind of life we want to create, what kind of behavior we want to have, but we just can't seem to do it? And then we think there's something wrong with us. There's not. There's nothing wrong with us. It's just that we haven't yet learned and understood about the subconscious mind. Yeah, Julie.
Yeah, I've always liked the statement that knowledge does not equal understanding.
Mm-hmm.
And that you can learn things, but until you actually practice it, apply it, and use it, do you actually understand it? Because understanding, you can feel it in your body.
Yes, good point. And a lot of things come back to the body in this program and in applying it into life. Because another issue that I've seen in my own healing journey and that of other people is that we get the knowledge, but we don't know how to integrate it into life. I've even had clients who have done the plant medicine journeys, and they see this incredible core essence of who we really are, but then they can't integrate it into daily life. So this program is going to do just that. And that is one of the keys. It's in the body, knowing it in the body.
I have a question.
Brandy, yeah.
So this question might be jumping the gun and we might learn about it later, but I'm curious. You were talking about these specific moments, that happen, that kind of go into your subconscious. What if these moments or these feelings, you can't remember how it happened or why it happened. And like if it was at an extremely young age to the point where you don't have a memory of it, then how do you, I mean, I know we'll get to that, like, how do you fix that? But it seems like, I don't know, I'm not sure how, is that, I'm guessing that's that's like the majority of it is you just can't remember, but you still have that feeling.
Exactly. You definitely still have the feeling in your body. And that's why we're going to start out in the first module, more looking at the emotions and the body sensations. And then in the second module, we're going to learn more about this inner system in the subconscious with these parts who disconnected from the whole. Because here's the beauty of it. The parts who disconnected from the whole remember.
Okay.
And they will tell you what the backstory is. If it's needed to be known, it will be known. And here's an example. I had a part in my subconscious, in the inner system of my subconscious, who had a core belief, there was a core wound there, had triggers with negative emotions, and had behaviors that played out. Hold on now, listen, this is amazing. At 6 months gestation period in the womb. I've also seen this a lot in parts therapy and clinical hypnotherapy, in regression sessions. I have had clients and heard of other clients, many of them going back to the womb.
That is fascinating. And also, because when you do talk therapy, a lot of times they want you to like write down all the specific things that happen that, and it's like, but if you don't have any reference of things that happened, how can you even address that, So, okay, well, that's exciting.
Yeah, it's fascinating work. It's so exciting, and it is so life-changing. Literally in one session, I went back to 6 months gestation. Oh, this part that makes so much sense. Of course, this part believes that. Aw, come to the present moment. Come to the present moment. So I teach you how to build trust, how to reveal those parts, build trust with those parts, bring them to the present moment, and then integrate it into daily life. Yeah, so that's why there's so much healing that can be done a lot faster than, like I say, we're going to do in 3 months what, I mean, you wouldn't even do it in 3 years of talk therapy. This is a whole new approach. It's subconscious, but it's not just the subconscious rewiring like a clinical hypnotherapist would be doing. This is actually understanding, really like self-discovery under the surface. There's treasure. There's bountiful treasure under there. And I tell people this is better than winning the lottery, because the inner freedom and liberation that I have now, people win the lottery and have freedom and liberation for a moment. I have it now for a lifetime, because now I know this practice and put it in place every day. I still have core wounds that show up. Literally just like a week ago, I was like, oh, hi. Wow, I didn't know you were there, because it's in layers. We heal in layers, like an onion.
All right. Thank you.
Yes, my pleasure. It's great question. And that is a preview for what is to come. Really, really good things that will be coming along.